welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel's all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and today I'm back as promised with a Debbie December TBR / book rec. Now, I'm just gonna go through the prompts and give you a few of what I plan on reading, as well as some suggestions and recommendations for you. Let's just get started. We're talking Debbie December. I'm so excited for it. It's just a couple days away. In 3, 2, 1, go! So Debbie December is a way to celebrate all things Debbie Macomber books. So Debbie Macomber is my most read and beloved author. Oh my gosh, she's probably a lot of people's, to be honest. I don't think I'm in, definitely not in a category by myself. She is very beloved, and I just think she is fantastic and so heartwarming. Okay, so we thought the year before last we would start a Debbie December. And just because she always comes out with a Christmas novel, she's the queen of Christmas. It just made sense. We didn't do it last year, but we are back. We are back. Now, we do have 3 prompts, but you do not have to read the prompts to participate. If you want to read one Debbie and you want to read from Blossom Street, good on ya. You've participated. If you want to read one book of Debbie every day in the month of December, good on ya. Whether it's any of these prompts or not. But for people who do like to follow along with the prompts, we made you 3. They're pretty open so that you can pick anything you want. The first one is read a Debbie holiday book. Now, again, as I said, she is the queen of Christmas. I made a statement that I probably shouldn't have made in one of my videos, and I said, I think I know of some books that aren't necessarily directly Christmas related, because I wanted people who maybe don't celebrate Christmas, not in the mood this year, just don't want to read them, have read them, whatever the reason is, to be able to have something where they could still participate in the holiday reads. And I knew of one, and so in my head, I thought there may be others, and I said that, and now I feel like I read you astray. But there is one. It is called the Thanksgiving Prayer, and I just had what it said about it. Give me 1 second. It says, Seth immediately recognizes that Claudia is the woman for him, the woman he wants to marry and take back to Alaska. Remember that? But Claudia is torn between Seth and her life in Seattle. How can she give up everything familiar, everything she's always worked for, and yet she can't bear the thought of losing the man she's come to love? That is the Thanksgiving Prayer. So I'm hoping it takes place at Thanksgiving. I haven't read it. Ooh. Now, I want to say, I still could be wrong. There could be other books that are other holidays. I have a few co-hosts who back me up and maybe can back up my mouth and figure that out for you. So I would like to tell you about them real quick because they are the true masterminds behind this. I had a family member in the hospital, and I'm very thankful she is home and well. However, there has been some care that we've had to kind of schedule around us helping out with. And again, I'm so happy to do it, but it's caused me to not have as near as much free time as I normally do. And these ladies did it all. I really didn't, I wasn't in on getting it all together, and I feel bad, but I'm so thankful that they let me still be a part of this because I love Debbie Macomber so much. So let me tell you about them because they deserve all these praises. It is Roxie from Roxie Reads, Lee from Dark Roots Creations, Elizabeth from Lizzie Fayless Books, and Storm from Storm Reads. You need to go check out all of those women, subscribe to them, and give them all the love and accolades for putting this all together, as well as the graphic. I'm not sure which one did it, but it is absolutely amazing. I have all their channels and they will be linked below, so it's easy access for you because they're also gonna have suggestions in their own TBRs, and maybe they found some other holiday ones that are not directly related to Christmas. Now, let's get to the Christmas books because I love them and I hope you do too. So I have 3 that I am planning on reading. I think it's 3. One of my favorite series by Debbie Macomber is her Angels Everywhere series. It is Christmas themed. It features 3 guardian angels named Shirley, Goodness, and Mercy. And the first book is called A Season of Angels. Now, I reread that last year for Debbie December, because I've read all 7 in the series. And so this year I'm going to read book 2 in that series, which I think is called The Trouble with Angels. So Shirley, Mercy, and Goodness each year get an assignment right around the holiday to help out somebody in need. And they are sent to them, and they don't know the world around them that we live in. And so they're very, awestruck by it. And this often leads to getting caught up in something new that they don't know about. And it can sometimes jeopardize what they're supposed to be doing, but in a funny shenanigan way. I cannot recommend it enough. One of my favorite scenes is, I don't remember which book of the 7, but they were supposed to be kind of trailing somebody in a mall for whatever reason. I don't remember why. And they find an escalator, and they didn't know what an escalator was. And so then they spent like a half an hour riding the escalator up and down. And then they realized, I forgot who I was supposed to be following. And it's just so funny. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. So I will be reading number 2 in that. I'm also going to be reading her brand new book. It says it come out October of 2025. I say it says because often her books are republished. So there's been some that have been republished and you don't know it. And especially if they're republished with a new title. This one says it came out in October 2025. And I have not read this based on the synopsis. It is called A Fairy Merry Christmas right here. I'm so excited for a new Debbie. It says, a delayed ferry boat brings people together in the best of ways during the holiday season in this enchanting Christmas novel. And that's all I need to know because Debbie brings magic to the holiday. So the other one I'm going to read is a novella, but it's called Jack Frost. And I just realized I hadn't read it, and it looks really cute. But I do want to tell you about a few other Christmas ones that I have read in the past that I would recommend. So we have The 12 Days of Christmas. It says, friendly and bubbly Julia Patton likes nearly everyone but her standoffish neighbor, Kane. He presents a particular challenge. No matter how hard she tries to be nice, Kane rudely rebuffs her at every turn, preferring to keep to himself. But when Julia catches Kane stealing her newspaper from the lobby of the apartment building, that's the last straw. She's going to break through Kane's Scrooge-like exterior, and the only way she knows how is to kill him with kindness. And things go from there. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was super cute. Next up, Merry and Bright. This is Mary Knight is busy these days. She's taking care of her family, baking cookies and decorating for the holidays, and hoping to stay out of the crosshairs of her stressful and by-the-book boss at the consulting firm where she tempts. Her own social life is the last thing she has on her mind, much less a man. Without her knowledge, Mary's well-meaning mom and brother create an online dating profile for her, minus her photo, and the matches start rolling in. Initially, Mary is incredulous, but she reluctantly decides to give it a whirl. Soon, Mary finds herself chatting with a charming stranger, a man with similar interests and an unmistakable kind soul. And again, I thought this one was really good, and I have one more, and I think I read it last year or the year before. It came out in 2022. It is a novella, but it's fairly lengthy. It's not like on the short side of a novella. And I think I read it last year or the year before, and it was one that I really enjoyed, The Christmas Spirit. It says Peter Armstrong and Hank Colfax are best friends, but their lives couldn't be more different. Peter, the local pastor, who is dedicated to his community, spending time visiting the flock, attending meetings, and with the holiday season approaching, preparing for Christmas service and live nativity. As a bartender, Hank serves a much different customer base at his family-owned tavern. And they decide to switch because each of them thinks the other one has it made. They're like, well, you have it so easy. Your job is just one day a week on Sundays. And Peter, who is the pastor, is like, well, you have it so easy. All you do is give somebody a drink and that's it. And so they decide to switch. And it was so good. There was so much good commentary about how their jobs really aren't that much different. They might be, reaching a different set of people, but their jobs aren't that different. And there's commentary about how both are needed because they are serving different people. I loved it. I absolutely thought it was fantastic. There was a little bit of a side story that I didn't think was needed for me. I wasn't paying attention to it. I didn't really, but that whole scenario was so clever the way it was written. I absolutely loved it. All right, so the second prompt is Alaska, and there is Alaska Christmas book. So I decided to include it with the Alaska, but it would double, so you get like a 2-for-1. So the Alaskan Christmas one that I have read that I was going to recommend is called An Alaskan Holiday. So it's perfect. Again, it's that 2-for-1, but there is another one that I just saw that's a 2-for-1. So this one says, before beginning her dream job as a sous chef in one of Seattle's hottest new restaurants, Josie Avery takes a summer position cooking at a lakeside lodge in the remote Alaskan town of Ponder. Now, the lore is there's so many Debbie Alaskan books because she went on a trip one year with her husband, fell in love, and it just couldn't stop herself from writing about it. And I am so appreciative because books set in Alaska are like my jam. I love it so much. It's the way I want to experience the cold in a book only. So the other one that I don't know that I read, and I'm gonna check it out. It says it's 2 books in one. It is called Christmas in Alaska, but I do not know if I read this. So the 2 books, okay. I think I've read one, there's 2 books in there. One of them is called The Snow Bride, and I'm pretty sure I read it. It says, usually practical Jenna Campbell impulsively heads to Alaska to marry a man she met on the internet. But on the flight to Fairbanks, she meets Reed Jameson, who's determined to show her she's making a mistake. Now, there are several other, like I said, Debbie set in Alaska. So there is a series that is called The Midnight Suns. There's several books in it, and I believe the first book is called Alaska Skies. However, when I clicked on it, I was a little confused, but I'm going to read what it says. It says, lonely men in hard luck Alaska looking for women. Our town might be cold, but our hearts are warm. Location, north of the Arctic Circle. Population, 150, and mostly men. But the 3 O'Harlan brothers who run a bush plane charter service called Midnight Suns, hence the name of the series, are heading a campaign to bring women to town. And then there's several books in that series. It looks like Alaska Skies, Alaska Nights, and Alaska Home. And I read Alaska Nights, but I didn't realize it was book 2 of a series. So I might put Alaska Skies on my TBR because that would be what book 1. Storm, I hope your ears are covered. Sorry about that. I honestly didn't know. The third prompt is a category romance by Debbie. Debbie got her start in category. I don't know a whole lot about category. However, I have a really good friend named Sarah from Reading Category Romance. That is her channel name. Yes, go subscribe to her. She is absolutely amazing. I messaged her and I'm like, is there a way to find out? Because a lot of Debbie's books, I've said this a couple times, have been republished. And I was really confused. I was like, are they category? Are they not? Because even as I'm looking at her list now, the Midnight Suns that's set in Alaska is a category romance series. And that is, where did I just see that? Midnight Suns. So Brides for Brothers, The Marriage Risk, all of the Midnight Suns, it looks like all 7 of them are part of the category. The Angels Everywhere series that I said was one of my favorite series all time, she said only number 5. So there are 7 books in that series, but only number 5 is considered category, and it's called Those Christmas Angels. So that's what I'm saying. It's really hard sometimes to know for sure, or was for me. The Navy series that's by Debbie Macomber, there are 6 books in it. The first book is called The Navy Wife. They are all category, all 6 of those books. So if you want to check out that series. There's a series called Country Brides. There's 2 in it. And the first book is a little bit country. These are both categories. So I will try to put the full document of all of her category romances by series, but I don't know if I'll be able to attach it. I hope you at least have a few to start off with. Again, if you just want to read whatever your heart desires, that's Debbie, you go for it. I approve of that. And you don't need my approval anyways. You read whatever your heart desires. Darn tootin'. All right, so I hope you will join us. We are going to be reading Debbie the whole month of December. It's going to be so much fun. I probably will have more time in December to do some added reading sprints that I don't normally do just because of the holiday and stuff going on. So I will try to let you guys know. I hope you will join us. Give me a big thumbs up for this video. Let me know what your Debbie TBR is. If you know of any Debbie holiday books that aren't directly Christmas. And I will see you in the next one. I hope all of your future reads are 5 stars. Bye, everybody.